Wednesday. You know what time it is. Let's get to it. I'm Cole Johnson, and this is On the Daily. Hot, fresh takes given to you on a daily basis. And I definitely am glad that I'm giving you this hot take today. So on Wednesdays, it is a slot where I dedicate this guy's name and the fandom that comes with him, the obsessive fandom, not necessarily the ones who are responsible, but I dedicate things associated with him and his obsessive fandom to this slot. And this deals with a topic of conversation I've always had in terms of a problem with him. And what do I mean? You'll know on the other side.
In a world where partial greatness is celebrated and total greatness is shunned, there stands to be a figure on the lips of those who love him and those who hate him. The inane comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant continue and has existed since 2003. There is no end in sight, for the battle between those who unconditionally love and unconditionally hate him wages on. These are their stories. Welcome to the Bronsexual Confessions.
Now, I listened to, I guess it was a video on Uninterrupted. That's his platform, LeBron James being his. And he talked about the motivation he gets before games begin. And it begins like this. Quote, I just be looking for a LeBron hater. I just need one of them. It's like 20 minutes before the game starts, and I'm just looking like, oh, I found this MFer. Oh, yeah, I'm going to be ready to go tonight. Close quote. I'm sorry, that wasn't good enough. I got to do it again. Really? You know something, LeBron? It seems to me you need to have all three of the ways that you normally would handle a hater to be at your disposal. Either you, one, use that motivation right there, and so you pick one out of the crowd that doesn't like you or has some animus against you or just wants to see you fail, and you get motivated to show them up. That's one. Two, you talk trash back at them, actually showing the fan that you won, that they won, in having them rent space in your head. Or three, like you did in Indianapolis, if a fan goes completely ham over you, you toss them out instead of doing like what you just admitted that you did in number one. You heard the hater, you got motivated, and you want to show them up. Now, it's not the problem that you want to show the hater up. In fact, I find that admirable. What I do not like is that you don't feel this way about everybody who wants to talk ill to you, because what is a fan going to do with his or her mouth that's going to destroy or obliterate or even tamper with or even interfere or hinder with your performance on the court? It is like what Keyshawn Johnson said in Max Keyshawn and Jay Will. He said, you know, whatever a fan says to me, I'm fine with. I don't care what they say. Just as long as you don't put your hands on me. If the fan puts his hands on me, then that's a problem. I'm 100% good with that. Because if a fan would be bold enough to want to throw blows with you and throw bows with you, they deserve to be knocked out. They deserve to go to sleep. I mean, they deserve to have the treatment of Michael Spinks when Mike Tyson put him almost through the ring back in 1988. A fan deserves to have that, because if they're bold enough to sell the wolf tickets and be physical enough to back that up, well, they should be bold enough to physically take the butt whooping that's going to come with going up against an athlete who is a whole lot bigger, stronger, and more able to take punishment than he is. But I'm motivated by this, not necessarily by LeBron, but by this fellow. So I had a conversation with a Bronsexual, and I have said in other video that the Bronsexual way of fandom is poisoning Lakers Nation. And part of that poisoning of Lakers Nation is that people consider LeBron James's tenure as a Laker to be successful because he brought them a championship. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. I thought the Lakers fandom was about bringing home chips every year, not just 1 year out of every four. I thought that the golden standard was the true literal golden standard in NBA annals, or the seasons of failure, which means with the Lakers fans that I do know that are real, they would consider one of LeBron's seasons to be correct and the other 3 seasons, including this one, to be an abject failure.
Of course.
And why would that be? It's because the Lakers have high standards. And why would Lakers fan have high standards? Well, it's because it was modeled for them that the organization had high standards. And I did say the word had because currently they don't. They don't have high standards. They have standards of if you can have a player score 56 points to save a season and beat a team that more than likely you might see in the first round, if they get to the playoffs, that is a success. No, it's not a success. And when you mention this to Bronsexuals, they go ham. And when you mention things such as we have seen things out of players who were older than 37 and actually win a championship, and that doesn't and it compares even more favorably than having a guy who is 37 and he decides to score 30 points a game, but his team wins 1 out of every 3 games. That is a whole lot more favorable, the ones who are older and won a championship, than the one who's 37 and only wins 1 out of 3 games. So when you mention this to a Bronsexual, that's when their dander gets up. That's when they get energized. That's when they get motivated. That's when they say, aha, there's a hater. Let's get on him. They say it's time to charge at the LeBron-sexual hater. They say it is time to go ham and show this guy that he has no business talking basketball because he's hating on our man. It's time to simply make him feel this small, just like LeBron wants to make the hater in the stands feel as small. And that's where you all go wrong, Bronsexuals. Understand something. LeBron James is the greatest athlete that's ever graced the NBA court in the history of the sport. I'm talking about not even the 75-year history of the NBA. I'm talking about NCAA. I'm talking about high school. I'm talking about Pee Wee League. I'm talking about every single level that basketball has ever existed. I'm talking about and one. I'm talking about the G League and the D League. I'm talking about women's sports in women's basketball. There has never been an athlete in basketball history that has been as stellar as LeBron James in terms of his overall prowess. Not a one. When it comes to basketball skills, on the other hand, he's a jack of all trades and a master of none. And when I say this to Bronsexuals, and when I say that to this particular Bronsexual, it's considered hate. It's considered slander. It's considered blasphemous. Another blasphemous statement that Bronsexuals will attest, and this one definitely did, when I actually say that LeBron James to me is not the best of all time. He's not the second greatest of all time. He's not even in my top 5. He barely crept into my top 10 when he got the bubble championship. That to me is fair, but that to a Bronsexual means I have no business talking basketball. They'll basically say something of this nature.
You've got to be joking me. You've got to be joking me.
That is what they believe. I mean, they for me to say LeBron James is number 10 of all time, I get reactions like this. When I say LeBron James, I could pick many different players who have better skill in certain areas than he does. I get this as a response.
This whole thing stinks to high heaven.
But you know what I said to that Bronsexual after he also laid claim to saying LeBron James is an all-time great Laker?
You for real.
It hit him twice with it.
You for real.
Criticism seems to fly completely out the window when it comes to a Bronsexual. Every player gets criticized. I don't care who it is. Michael Jordan got criticized before he won his first championship. People were saying, well, a scoring champion will never win a crown. Yeah, you may score 30 points a game, but what good is it because you're not even sniffing the finals? And before 1989, it was you're not even sniffing the conference finals. Every player gets criticized. Every one of them. LeBron James is not immune to it, but Bronsexuals, you want to lay claim to an immunity shot when it comes to LeBron James and criticism. So just like he spots haters in the crowd before he starts playing, when we're in these rooms and we spit facts at you, you spot us and you claim us to be haters, and then you go on your tirade and tangent, showing us how passionate you are, almost to a romantic level. That is what makes it all sickening, all the while.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window, while purple and yellow glasses are donned, rises a figure who encourages ridiculous, undying loyalty. Good Lord, I'm about to throw up. This has been yet another installment of the Bronsexual Confessions.
Well, if you're like me and you say that LeBron, okay, he may be good, but he's not the greatest of all time, or if you are one of the 100 millions follower, you know where that comes from. I want to hear what you have to say. Like this video and share it all throughout your social media community. Comment below because I want to hear what you have to say. And don't forget, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell to get any and all content that emanates from here. That's whether it's on the daily or And Another Thing or 2-Minute Warning or the Mothership. Well, that's all the time I have. Thank you so much. I enjoy this, and every Wednesday I bring you Bronsexual Confessions. I'm Cole Johnson. I hope you have a wonderful day. Tune in tomorrow as I put a pause on something. This has been yet another installment of Cole Sports on the visual and on the daily. See you tomorrow.